welcome to Fostering Conversations. I am Christine Singer. So for our first real round of videos, I want to address something called bridging. If you're a foster parent, I'm sure you've heard of it. What do you think of when it comes to bridging? Do you think, oh man, I am supposed to make this work, but how am I supposed to overlook what they did to their children? Do you ever look at it and think, oh, I don't have anything in common with them. How am I supposed to make this work? Or ever feel like they're not making enough effort, so why should you? These are all really, really natural feelings for us to have in this circumstance, especially when we haven't been trained in identifying our bias and really understanding how that plays a role in what we're trying to do here. So I really want to kick it off by just laying stuff out on the table. Let's just be honest. We all have biases. We all have this perception of the world, how it should work, how parenting should be, how taking care of your kids should look like. We all have this. And it's not wrong. It's formed from your culture, the geographical area you grew up in, your level of education, your socioeconomic status. All of these things have played into the way you see the world, the way you view relationships, the way you view parenting, all of those things. So it's not that it's wrong. We just have to be willing to admit that we do have a bias, and it doesn't mean that we're right. What we're looking for is understanding they also have a bias. They also, everything that influenced you influences them as well. So what we want to do is really find a middle ground, not an I'm right, you're wrong, but a middle ground of understanding. And then from there we move forward. Not us pulling them along, trying to see the world our way, and not giving up hope, but really meeting in the middle and then moving forward together. So some of the things that we can look at is we rename ourselves into a resource parent. I like that so much better than foster parents, because a resource parent, what we should be doing is in the name. We should be a resource. So we need to take a look at our families and really assess, how can I mentor this family? What are my strengths that will balance the equation with their weaknesses? And how can I ensure the success of our team? Because we are now on a team working towards the same goal. It's not us against them. It's not us against DHS. It's all of us together as a team. And we really have to take a look at each case and say, okay, what can I bring to the table? What can I add? Not because I'm a better parent, not because I know it all, simply because we each have strengths and weaknesses, and so do they. And so we are honest about it and saying, my role here, I'm not in just the child healing business. I'm in the business to restore families, because the child that I love so very much in my home loves their family. That's what they want. They want to go home to their family. They will always love their family. And so we take a look at it and say, you know what, I'm a resource parent. What resources can I put into this? We should never end a case without knowing that we put everything into it to help it succeed. Like, we should never walk away feeling like, well, I could have done this or this, but I just didn't want to. In our roles, we obviously have resources that they didn't have. Why would we not share those? We want this family to be successful. Why? Because the best thing for the child is to go home to their family. The best thing for this family is that they have the resources to be equipped to be successful. The best things for our communities are to have healthy, strong families. And the thing that changes these generational cycles is when we step in and we work together as a team, to equip them and empower them and strengthen them so that their family unit is restored. Obviously, this can't happen all of the time. There are cases that it's not going to work out. It's just not possible. Maybe they don't want to bridge with you at first. Maybe they don't want to bridge with you at all. That's okay. For me, I still understand where they're coming from. I'm somebody who's raising their children for the time being, and somebody's telling them that they're not any good at it. So how would you view somebody in that? How would you view other people? Probably not in a really good light. They're under a tremendous amount of stress of what they have to do. They're having to change their entire life, doing it with life skills that they probably don't have, because if they had them, they wouldn't be in this position. Life just got extremely difficult for them. And then here you are, showing that you've got it all together, and it can make anyone just dislike you. And it's not personal, it's just a situation. So we have to be able to look at it and see the humans behind the case. They're humans. They make mistakes. So do we. Oh, I'm really glad that I am not judged for every mistake that I have made as a parent, because, yeah, I might get that worst parent of the world award. It might be like handed down to me because I have made some killer mistakes. We need to have that perspective, and then when it doesn't happen, obviously there's times when they can't be reunited. It's not safe, or it just didn't happen. We have to recognize that that child is grieving. We need to be trauma competent always, but especially in handling the cases where they're grieving. And here's a little side note. Those children are grieving the moment they step into your home. They've lost everything. They are grieving, and we have to know how to tackle that. If they're never going to go home, imagine that. Imagine if someone took you out of your home and told you were never going to go home. It's not about what their parents did. Children always love their parents, no matter what. That's an unconditional love. That is how God created us to be. So we can't say, well, how can they still love their parents after this or this? That's not how this works. So we have to respect that. We have to respect the relationship and how strong it was for that child. Then we also have to help them grieve. We have to be there when they're grieving. We're not here to replace anything that they lost. That's just, it doesn't work. I'll just put it that way. What we're here to do is to help them heal. And there's a void that was left behind, and they're gonna need help filling that void, and dealing with that loss. And that's where we come in, giving them unconditional love, and not hoping to replace anybody, but just hoping to be there and show them how much we love them unconditionally. So we've covered a couple of things: tackling our bias and changing our perspective, making ourselves a resource parent so that we're there to offer strengths and resources to equip and empower and strengthen those families. Also being able to see the human behind the case, not just a name, not just a situation, but that it's a real human being, that they've been involved in generational incidences, I guess is the best way to put it. Recognizing that they have a generational problem going on. It's not just them. And so we recognizing the human and what the human is struggling with and up against allows us to really pour into them, and that we never want to walk away from a case without saying that we gave everything that we could, that we put in every ounce of effort to see this family restored. And then lastly, recognizing and being aware that the children in our home are grieving. They are trying to deal with loss at a very young age, and that we really need to be trauma competent to really tackle this with them. So our next couple of videos, I'm going to tackle some things like breaking down a little more about how we assess who we are and who they are, so we can meet in the middle, and some issues like that. Now, if you have any particular concerns or questions, feel free to send me a message, and I'll try to address those in future videos when we're talking about this. Remember, I'm not the expert. I've not always been really good at this. I've just learned a lot over the years. So I thank you for watching. Please like and share, comment, let me know if we're talking about things relevant to you, or if there's any other topics you'd like me to talk about. So I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.